I love cabaret because I feel like I have the audience in the palm of my hand.
I knew everything there was to know. That's when I was 22, centuries ago.
I can make them feel like crying 1 minute, and I can make them laugh in the next minute. My name is Lynne Charnay. I'm 98. The next April I will be 99, and I'm hoping to live to be 100, to be a centenarian. I grew up in New York on Riverside Drive and 113th Street. It was a wonderful place to grow up, right on Riverside Drive and play in the park. I love New York. I think New York has so much of the things that interest me. The museums, the concerts, the theater first and foremost. And people that come to New York to live are interesting people. When people ask me, as you did, how do I count for my longevity? The only thing I can figure out is that it's my interest in other people and the world around me.
Lynne Charnay is an exceptional bohemian kind of person. If you go to her apartment, there are so many pictures of hers and paintings with people you know. Because she was out there, she was doing cabaret, she's still singing at a bar every now and then. And she's just enjoying life to the fullest while exhibiting really such a good health.
Many people say, oh, you must have wonderful genes. I have terrible genes. My mother had cancer. She had her breast removed. She had a bad heart. My father was diabetic and had a stroke at the end of his life. Those are my genes. And here I am. I think it's a miracle from God.
Not everybody has longevity in their family and still live that to old age. In genetics, you can have a recessive gene, gene that's not dominate in one parent and a recessive gene in another parent. But when they come together, they're giving you a different protection when you had just a little bit in both parents. So it's not necessary. It's necessary for you to be 100 years old, but not for your parents, really, to find the good genetics.
Mom has lived a life that is longer than many and has lived it with vitality because she comes to the work of living every day with an attitude of gratitude. And she says it all the time.
I'm so old that many of my friends, my closest friends, have died off. But fortunately, I make new friends, young friends, and happily, many of them are not bored like this old lady. They're interested and want to be my friends, and I'm very fortunate in that.
She remains physically active and not just puttering around the house.
I do yoga and Pilates, generally twice a week. Probably 8 or 10 years I've been doing that. And I do think that has a great deal to do with keeping me alive.
The most important thing in extending health span is exercise. Men and women any age, or moving is most important. The second is diet. It's a little bit complex, but certainly not being obese. The third is sleep. You should go in a dark room for 8 hours and try to sleep as much as you can. And social interaction. Those are really major parts of how we can extend our healthy lifespan.
I don't think of her as brittle at all. My mother is is still organically engaged in life. She's engaged with the world because she's still active in the world.
Toi qui m'aimais, et je t'aimais. It's enough of that.
I have no idea what's coming. What's next?
Now I've learned my lesson.
Oh, but now I've learned my lesson.